Hey fellow YouTubers and DCS World pilots, thought I'd together this video of my recent purchase of the Oculus Rift and its use with DCS World. Pretty excited about it. Been using it for about 3 months now. Coming from the Trek IR world, it's definitely a next step in the evolution of gaming. Currently holding short of runway 27 at the Al Minhad Air Base, just a few miles to the southeast of Dubai. Airplane's all ready to go. Funnel's clear, runway's clear. Let's pop the brake off and get going. And throughout this video, I'm going to throw in a few clips, takeoff, cruise, maybe some air-to-air refueling, a carrier landing, air-to-ground ops, air-to-air dogfights, and a landing on a field. That's unfortunate. Oh, nice. Okay. Guess we're clear to go. I can hold the brakes here, run the thrust up about 80%. Temps look good. We're going full mill. And now full burner. Airspeed's alive. Nose is coming up. Positive rate, gears coming up, flaps coming up. And we're trimming as well. We climb out about 10 degrees. Start bringing the power back. Out of burner. Accelerating. Nice view of the coast there in Dubai. I'm gonna level off at 2,500 feet. Throw the autopilot on. Start bringing back the thrust here. No need to go supersonic or anything. Piss off all the neighbors down below, blow out their windows. We're at level here at 10,000 feet. Autopilot's on, we're in heading mode. Got the power pulled back a bit. Got Dubai for left side, Dubai International Airport right there at about 11 o'clock. Before I go right into some clips of landings and aerial refueling, just wanted to talk a bit about this Rift S. Don't really take it as a review or an unboxing or anything in depth, but just for those on the fence looking to buy a Rift S or just get into VR in general, I'd highly recommend looking at this Rift S, mostly because of the cheaper price tag, $400 US dollars that is, compared to some of the other brands. I think dollar for dollar, what this offers is very worthwhile. You don't really need a very high-end computer to run this Rift S in medium or high settings in DCS World. You know, without even leaning in or straining my eyes, I can read all the gauges. You know, Dubai, this map's pretty detailed. You got the VR zoom function that you can map to your HOTAS. See pretty good detail from 10,000 feet. And for those coming from the Trek IR world, you know, I've been there. Was using Trek IR for about 8-9 years. You know, there's definitely pros and cons with the Trek IR versus the VR headsets. I'd say one of the bigger ones, if you are a PvP player, especially with, you know, air-to-air engagements, Trek Air may offer a better experience at the moment until we get resolutions in the VR that are affordable. We go ahead and start a gradual left turn Set the heading bug because you can see it scrolling down. But with as obviously with track IR, you only need to move your head just a few inches to look, straight up, straight down, look to the left, look to the right. With VR, remember it's a 1-to-1 picture. So when you're dog fighting and you need to look over your left wing, you actually need to turn your entire body all the way over. So I think there are some still advantages with track IR over VR. Alright, setting myself up for a Case 1 carry landing this time. Got the Stennis out there about 6 miles ahead of me. Descending down to 800 feet. I'm going to keep the carrier off my left side. Hopefully hit about 350 knots, and 800 feet is the target. Got the hook is down and verified. In the lower right-hand corner of the HUD, you can see the DME distance to the Stennis, just under 3 miles now, 3 nautical miles. ILS is activated and confirmed, a little fast. Fly by on the right side, get a view of the deck, verify that it's clear. You can even use the VR zoom. Nice view. And we're beam, power is going to idle, and we're rolling in. Start bleeding off the airspeed. Increase those G's, lower left-hand corner, looking for at least 3 G's. Altitude's a little high. Looking back. And we start rolling out. Airspeed's good. Gear's coming down. We'll go half flaps. We'll go full flaps at this time. I'm focusing more angle of attack. Gotta start a gradual descent and a turn. A decent reference thrust setting, about 83-85%, works out pretty good for most weights. Trying to get that flight path marker in the E bracket. Looking back at the carrier, 140 knots if you're looking for a target airspeed on most lighter weight aircraft. Okay, we're starting to roll into final, or the groove. A little high. Making some corrections. Gonna come a little to the right. A little wide right, that is, sorry. And rolling out. A little low. A little fast. We're gonna start correcting. Trim's your best friend here. Make sure you're trimmed out so you're not making huge corrections with the stick. You can see the meatball. A little low. Focusing on the angle of attack. Still a little low, correcting, adding some power. Putting that flight path mark at the end of the runway. As soon as we touch down, full power. And we're bringing it back. Let's have a look at what wire we got. Yeah, number 1, a little low. But I'm happy. We're on the deck. No one got hurt. No metal was bent. We can walk away from it and we can discuss it later in the debrief. All right, here we are, setting up for an air-to-air refueling with an S3 tanker just above at 15,000. Target airspeed is about 315 knots. So I'm just going to show you the initial hookup and maybe 30 seconds or so of staying hooked up and taken on fuel. I'm not going to show you the entire time. maybe show you some reference points as well. There's plenty of tutorials out there on YouTube that will go more into detail. But as we're approaching the tanker here, get the comms going.
Texaco 411, request rejoin.
411, Texaco, proceed to pre-contact at 15,000.
Alright, so he's letting us get a little closer. We're going to notify him once we get to the pre-contact position, which is pretty close. I'm going to close up that gap here. Big thing is to get all trimmed out well before you even get close to him. Makes your life way easier. Starting to slow down, gradually inching back, crawling back on the power levers. I'm gonna go out and throw out the refueling probe. Got that mapped to my HOTAS. The actual switch is in the lower left console of the aircraft. We'll go and tell them we're in the pre-contact.
Ready, pre-contact.
Cleared contact.
Alright, so 315 knots. Drug is coming out. Pretty happy with the trim, not having to make any huge corrections. And that's what you really want to avoid, is having to make huge corrections. Find that once we get connected here, you're going to see a good reference point to stay connected. Just keeping the left wing of the S3 at the top of your HUD, or just above the HUD. Inching my way forward.
Contact.
And we're contact.
You're taking fuel.
Bring back the thrust a little bit. So we got the left wing there at the top of the HUD. The tail of the aircraft of the S3 is just at about our 1 to 2 o'clock position. Making small corrections on the thrust, holding about 315 knots. And there you go. That's air-to-air refueling in a nutshell. I guess easier said than done. But with enough practice, you get pretty good at it. But again, I cannot emphasize enough on getting it trimmed out, getting it stable well before you even get to the pre-contact position. Alright, welcome back everyone. Switched up the map, I'm currently over in Georgia. Got a target area upper left side defined by 3 smoke colors. Just a variety of ground targets, green being the trucks. We've got artillery at the blue smoke and armored tanks at the red smoke. Go ahead and select the Mark 83s, CCIP mode. Fuse, we'll set that to nose. Roll into the target area. I'm going to go ahead and select those tanks over at the red smoke. It is a bit of a challenge using VR when trying to spot targets initially up at altitude. Definitely up here at 15,000. You're going to need to use the VR zoom. Definitely have that mapped to your HOTAS. CCIP air-to-ground is confirmed. We've got the CCIP line drawn. As you can see with the labels off, it is pretty challenging to spot targets. I'm zooming in. I do see a couple of tanks now.
Altitude. Altitude.
Picking out that one. And weapons release. Pulling 6 Gs. Pulling over. 1 BMP is destroyed. Through 10,000. I'm actually starting to pick out the targets. I think with the lighting on this side, the sun reflection, I'm actually seeing the glint off the trucks. Got one picked out. Descending through 6.
Altitude. Altitude.
And weapons release. Looking over the left wing. Looks like we got some hits. Yeah, destroyed. There we go. Yeah, you can see that blue smoke is gone now. I do have a couple of targets
Altitude.
spotted.
Altitude.
Just verify with the zoom. Keeping the speed up. And weapons release. I might have done that one a little bit too long. Rolling over. And we actually got a hit. Nice.
Altitude. Altitude.
Bombs away. Pulling up. Wing over. And good hit. Alright, welcome back. Last clip, gonna demonstrate a VFR landing at Nellis Air Force Base. Planning on runway 21 right, currently on the left downwind. Slowing up, 250 knots. As you can see, we got the Las Vegas Motor Speedway at about our 10 o'clock position. Got the power back at idle. We're gonna go ahead and throw in the first set of flaps at half. Start a descent. Gradual turn. Gears coming down. Starting to focus on angle of attack. Looking back at the runway. Checking situational awareness. Bit of a high sync right there. I'm going to add power back. Full flaps. Now we're purely focusing on angle of attack. Get the descent rate under control. Rolling into final. Nice view of Las Vegas ahead of us.
111. Check landing gear. Wind 046 at 6 meters per second. Runway
Got down 3 green, full flaps. We are clear to land. A bit fast. Trimming. We're essentially just going to fly this thing right onto the runway. Brought back to idle, maximum braking, hoping to make that first taxiway. Slowing through 60 knots. Save speed, turn off the runway here to the right.
Taxi to parking area.
Clear of the runway, flaps coming up. Clear to taxi in. And that's really just the sum of my experience with the Oculus Rift S. Hoping to put out a few more videos in the future. If there's anything you'd like to see, go ahead and comment below. Have a good day, guys.